Hi guys, and happy Wednesday. It is your favorite day of the week. You know why? Because you get to see me and the hot seat with Priscilla. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and welcome to our show. We are live in real time here in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada, here in studio at Social Media Shows. Every single week, we have amazing guests lined up to introduce to you, all of our viewers, here in Las Vegas and all around the country and also all around the world. As you know, to sit in this hot seat, you obviously have to be someone extremely impressive, and we never fail. After all of our interviews, we always leave being so inspired and learning so much more about the amazing people that thrive in this city. Today, we have some amazing guests, and I am super excited for this episode and also super nervous because these people are actually amazing in their craft and what they do, and you might actually recognize some of them. Absolutely amazing. It's going to be their first time here in studio, here at Social Media Shows, not just on another TV show that our network provides for you guys to watch, but also just the network in general. So I cannot wait to introduce them. A few announcements. If you guys have been following Social Media Shows, we have announced that we actually are going to be streaming all of our shows live every single day going on to the next week. So you guys can rewatch all of our episodes in real time at socialmediashows.com and also on the other platforms that we do stream. So you guys can never get tired of my face or me blabbing on and on because that's all that I do when I'm sitting here in the studio. So absolutely amazing. And another announcement, and hopefully I'm going to manifest this because I just came back from a 3-day weekend here in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay Convention Center. There was a We Bridge Music Festival for K-pop music. If you guys remember from our last episode, we had Hugh sitting here talking about all the amazing things that he is doing, but then also that he was involved in the We Bridge Expo this past weekend. And I want to manifest to hopefully have some of those people who planned that whole event to get these amazing idols all the way from South Korea here in Las Vegas and bringing all of these amazing conventions here, sitting on the hot seat. So I want to just put that out there and kind of welcome them all here, because if you guys have anyone that you know that you also want to see on the hot seat and have me interview, I would absolutely love having them on here. So that's all I got for before the show. We got to get it rolling because there's so many different things that are going to be exciting. So make sure to grab your drinks, grab your food. Don't leave your seat sitting at home watching because you want to make sure you look at this seat, the hot seat, when we come back from the break. So I'll see you then.
This show is brought to you by Modern Word Ministries.
Trying to buy a home these days is tough. We know. We hear it every day. Home inventory is at an all-time low. It's a seller's market, and cash buyers have the advantage. Recently, cash buyers made up more than a quarter of all home purchases. So, how do you compete with cash buyers and win? By becoming a cash buyer yourself. How do you do that? With New American Funding's Buyer Accepted program. Here's how it works. Buyer Accepted LLC, an affiliated company of New American Funding, will buy your new home with cash and sell it back to you for the original purchase price, plus a service fee that can be added to the purchase price of the home once you secure mortgage financing with New American Funding. This turns you into a cash buyer and helps you win the bidding war. And the best part? You don't need to sell your current home first. Don't miss this opportunity to buy your dream home. Call New American Funding today or visit newamericanfunding.com to learn more about becoming a cash buyer and winning the bidding war.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social Media Shows is now the new media of the century.
Hi guys, and welcome back to The Hot Seat. I am your host, Priscilla Moy, and we are live in studio here at Social Media Shows. We are going to get right into our first guest. He is absolutely amazing. He is a mentalist, a psychic, and all things paranormal. He has residencies here in Las Vegas, and he is known as the man who knows. Everyone, please welcome Alain Nu. Hi, welcome. Yes, please take a seat. Thank you so much for coming to this show. How are you today?
Oh, I'm feeling good. It's
great,
finally getting
right?
warm here in Las Vegas, so you know.
You already read my mind because I was just about to say that.
Right? It's
yeah, amazing. So thank you so much for coming. You have so much I want to dive into because you are just so successful and so well known all around. I'm so impressed by you, and I'm so glad that you're willing to come on to the show.
Of course.
So, amazing. So you actually, in the start, you jumped around a lot. You moved around a lot. You've experienced living in different cities, correct? And then you kind of started realizing your talent kind of at an early age, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that came first, and then I moved around.
Okay.
And, yeah, it's been quite a crazy lifestyle. Most of my work has been outside of the Washington D.C. area, but I was very close friends with the restaurateur and owner of Cafe Milano, this guy named Franco Nuscasi, and he used to be the operations manager over at Caesar's Palace, and that's how we kind of created that connection. But I've always been, I've been here in Las Vegas on and off since the early 2000s. Performing originally at Caesar's Palace and at the Magical Empire. You're too young for that. And then after that, we moved over to some other events at the Clarion Casino, which is the old Debbie Reynolds Theater.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Greek Isles is no longer, huh? It's so crazy how Vegas just keeps changing and
every day.
New casinos keep opening up and fun things are happening. I'm really excited, though, to be in downtown Las Vegas over at the Notoriety Live Theater right at Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street, which is technically the busiest street block in Las Vegas. So
downtown's crazy.
Yeah, here in the entertainment city and doing that there is great just because I've been doing club dates and things like that for years, and usually it's for corporate events and things like that. Nice to be able to be in a real theater with lights and blackouts and music and just the whole technical angle of it has been lots of fun.
Absolutely. So let's talk about all of your talents for a second. Dive into that. So what really was that moment when you were like, oh my God, I'm going to make a living out of this. This is what I'm meant to do. There's something obviously that occurred to you, either whether it be paranormal, you can obviously, fix my wording, but, things that where you realize what you can do and how you're different from everyone else. And this is something that you need to show the world.
So I'm half Chinese and I'm half Vietnamese. Mm-hmm. My parents met in Laramie, Wyoming, and at university, and I was born thereafter in San Francisco in the '60s. So it was just kind of it's been a long time coming. Back in those days, I was just trying to fit in, and everybody was just kind of already assuming that I had mysterious powers because I was like the only Asian kid in my class.
Okay.
And at the time, it was just a way for me to embrace my own individuality. Mm-hmm. And my parents were both librarians, so it kind of came natural for them to say, hey, we're going to teach you how to read by bringing you books from the libraries that we work at. And my dad ended up being at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. So after that, he just said, what do you want to learn about? And I went, I was 7 years old, mm-hmm. So I went, magic would be a good one. And so there I started learning magic, and I started to broaden my horizons as I got older, just because, you can learn magic at many different levels. So you can learn magic for kids, and then you can learn magic for, adults. And then after that, you graduate to magic for teenagers. So,
as you're also going through those stages in life, you just experience it while it's happening, right? Amazing, though, because I feel like, there's a lot of people, whether, they're going into magic or in the spiritual realm, you don't really hear much about them speaking on those things and more of like on their daily personal life. So, do you know how to shut that off, or do you always live it 24/7, not just when you're performing and you're meeting people?
That it's important. I think that these days, especially, authenticity is just a really important thing for other people to. I mean, I think that people feel authenticity. People can actually, and in many ways, it's kind of like the psychic side of us that feels that. It's something that I think that from that standpoint, I deliver what I do in a very kind of sincere way. And so in many ways, I'm interested in magic beyond just the trickery and the I can do something that you can't do type of side of it. I'm really more interested in, just the roots. One of the things I talk about in my show is just the word abracadabra and what it means, because most people have heard of the word abracadabra, but very few people know that, it's actually ancient Hebrew Aramaic, and it means I create as I speak. And so just learning that one aspect of the word kind of brings in a whole new understanding of like how we might use that word in a genuinely magical way. Like, does it mean that all the words we speak are magic words? And maybe if we were better speakers, might we be better magicians? So I mean, it lays down the foundation of this idea that maybe as magicians we're manifestors, and maybe as manifestors we speak to create,
Right.
and that's what we do. So it's just an interesting way of being able to make people see that there's a deeper level towards magic
Right.
and mystery than there actually is. And I'm really excited to bring that to Vegas. I feel like my show does it in a very, very nice, genuine way that still brings the mystery to people, and at the same time, gives them something to be amazed and also inspired about.
Because it's really different when I'm hearing you speak about, your look on how you want to introduce this to Las Vegas. Because there's a lot that people might assume that they might think of when they go see your show, or if you introduce yourself as this, that, and the third. But the fact that you're digging more into the deeper side of it, more than just kind of like the poof here.
I know,
poof
the man
gone.
who knows. It
Yeah,
sounds
exactly.
so
That's
pompous,
why.
doesn't it?
But it's amazing because what I want to bring up, and I love that you said this, was you create as you speak in the manifestation, because I feel like that kind of is now circling everywhere. The law of assumption, law of, the affirmations,
law of attraction,
of attraction, all of these things where technically that is very, very true. People who believe in those things, obviously you believe it, then it happens. But you just kind of, if you affirm something, you can create it to happen for yourself. Vice versa. The other thing, if you say that, I'm not going to get this, you're not going to. And it's great that you said that, because it's relating to the audience kind of like what you mean by you're doing it in a different way, where you're kind of doing it in a more genuine, authentic way that everyone might be able to connect with. Correct?
Definitely.
And that's amazing. So you had all these different residencies, and you've obviously meet tons of people and their energies at all times.
I do.
Right? Does it become very overwhelming for you when you...
I do. It's funny. I tend to. I'm pretty good at shedding the last part of what happened in the last show at the end, to the point where I'll forget completely aspects of my show that I've done, and my fiance, soon to be my wife, will call me up and say so. Where did they want to travel to, or what did they want to do? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what was it? And damn it, I'll forget. What's so interesting though is that, I'm also good at remembering things that, in long term, just because it's part of my craft to be able to have a good memory and be able to utilize that. But I'm also very good at shutting it down when I need to, just in order to maintain bandwidth.
Yeah, and to stay sane in your everyday life
exactly.
and reconnect to the next show. Because obviously I think you want to be present for those people as well, and then make sure you're focused. Was there any point in a certain show that really that's something that really hit you? Kind of a great memory where you're like, oh my God, this moment will always stick with me, is either a phenomena or someone that really left a big impression on you?
It happens so often at nearly every show. I mean, it's really interesting how people will kind of make, like for instance, just last week I had a fellow who asked the question. I always have people ask me questions in the show, and it's a kind of semi-serious moment, but at the same time I tell them that part of the agenda is to not look at it so much as serious, but to just sort of playfully interact with this moment. But this fellow had asked me a really serious question. He had actually been he had been separated from his daughter for a long time, and he said, will I ever see, her name again? And that was the question that he ultimately asked me, and all I did was close my eyes and think to myself, just letting my own natural knowing come to me, and I opened my eyes and I said, yes, it will happen soon. And then, crazy enough, in the middle of my show, and while my show was in progress, she contacted him by text.
Wow.
And at the end of the show, they were so stunned by it. They were like tears in their eyes, and they came up to me and hugged me and everything. And those kinds of things, like that was just last week. But these types of connections that people make, sometimes I don't even connect them myself. Sometimes they're the ones who make the connections in the show, and suddenly, boom, this magical, near miraculous thing will take place that's so astonishing that, again, it's hard for me to remember every single one that takes place because they actually happen so frequently. And to me, that's why I designed my show, and it's how I designed the show, is in order to kind of leave it open for those possibilities, because you never really know just what will happen and how meaningful you can actually make that connection. Yeah.
So you are known as the man who knows, which you said, and everywhere that you go online and look him up. Please tell us where that came from.
I'm always the man who knows eventually.
So we don't market that though. He just knows. We just know on marketing wise. He just knows.
Yeah. We try to make it relatively vague. I don't call myself the man who knows everything. I don't call myself the man who knows all. But the idea of knowing is something that's interesting, and that actually comes from. Originally, it came from a fellow by the name of Alexander Conlon, who was the great Alexander, who called himself the man who knows during the vaudeville time period in the 1920s. Actually, like even before the 1920s, up until like the 1920s. And my manager had, as soon as we made our arrangement for me to be his client, suddenly just trademarked that title and said, have you ever heard The Man Who Knows? And I said, yeah, of course, Alexander, the man who knows. And he goes, guess who the man who knows is now? And I went, you're kidding me.
Wow.
And so suddenly he had trademarked it for me. It took me it took me a little while to just kind of ease into that title, because it is kind of saying a lot, right? But in the end, I feel like I've embraced it nicely. I feel like I understand what it means to know, and I feel like I've learned to understand it more than ever before. So
and you've proved it to your audience and to your fans, obviously, and to the extent where you can, and it impresses you every single day.
Last year, TripAdvisor awarded me the TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Award, which puts me at the top 10% of attractions worldwide, which is astonishing. Just because I was honored to have it. These days, I feel like my TripAdvisor reviews are all very, very strong, and they're always 5 stars, but these days the 5-star reviews are getting even stronger. So I feel really happy to be in this place and in this time. Can I show you something? Can I show you a little thing that I do? I happen to be prepared. I brought
I was
a spoon.
hoping, I was manifesting this. I literally was like, I hope he brings a spoon.
See?
In a lot of your interviews, you do have this, and I
That's
really
true.
would love to see this.
Here, go ahead, take a look. Make sure that that's just an ordinary, stainless steel spoon to your satisfaction and expertise of the cutlery. Here, I'll roll up my sleeves. I don't want you to think that anything's hidden up my sleeves.
Perfect.
And tell you what, here, take the spoon actually, just to hold it up to your heart. Imagine, just take a deep breath. Imagine your energy being absorbed into the metal of the spoon. Very good. Now open your eyes. I'm going to have you take this pen. Now be careful. It's a Sharpie.
Okay.
Just write your name on the inside of the bowl of the spoon, okay? And then underneath your name, how about a big 2023 to commemorate, to timestamp this moment in the now roaring 20s. We're hoping. We're keeping our fingers crossed, as tourist season is a little late this year. So I'll tell you what, I don't know if the people can see in the in the camera, this that Priscilla has her name. If you want to forge her signature, you now know how. And Priscilla, you're right-handed, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm a mind reader. I'm also very observant. Okay, here, hold your right hand out flat. Place your left hand directly on top like this. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to touch your hands very lightly. I want you to count how many times you feel me touch your hands, but don't count out loud. Just count in your mind, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Take a deep breath first, and then we'll begin. If you feel me touching your hands starting now, I'm going to have you count in your mind. Each time you feel me touch or tap your hands, you're counting in your mind. Each time you feel a touch, a tap, a shock, anything at all, you're counting. Now, are you counting at this point?
Yes.
Okay, keep counting. Each time you feel me touch your hands, you are counting in your mind, okay? And in fact, open your eyes. How many times did you feel me touch your hands?
4.
So 4 times, top and bottom in different places?
Different places, yes.
4 times.
Yes.
How many times, ask the audience later on how many times they saw me touch your hands, and the fact is I didn't at all.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, I know, you don't believe me. Here, close your eyes again. I'm going to hold one hand on top, one hand below. When I count to 3, you're going to push your palms together. 1, 2, 3, pushing your hands together. You feel the spoon pushing down upwards against the top hand, like it's bending in the middle a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
A little bit more now. Yes?
Yes.
Weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of getting taller, right? So open your eyes. That spoon has been between her hands. I didn't touch her at all, even though she felt me 4 times, right? Mm-hmm. 4 or 5 times. Bring your hands apart. Let's take a look at the spoon. And look, you can see that very, very slowly, the spoon is actually beginning to bend. You don't look all that surprised. That's okay. I know you want to physically actually see this take place. Here, I'll do it in my hand. Okay, watch. I'm going to put this in my hand. Watch.
Wow.
See, now you can see the spoon is actually buckled a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's still your name on the
Yes.
inside, right? You can
Yes.
still see her name a little bit more. Watch. No effort at all between my thumb or forefinger. The spoon continues to droop. It continues to droop until it droops like a wilted flower. Now tug on the end like a wishbone. I mean, that's difficult to unbend, right? I
Yes.
mean, it's like it's not flimsy suddenly. It's actually still consistent to the way
Yeah.
it was before, right?
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. You can physically take this spoon and unbend it using muscle, and I'll do that right now just to show you can physically do that. Let's try something that'd be humanly impossible, or at least seemingly so. So rather than bringing the energy outwards, let's imagine spiraling that energy inwards. Watch. See, now the spoon is actually twisted, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's about twisted 90 degrees, right? Take it and don't break your nails,
Right.
but try to untwist the spoon. I mean, that's difficult to untwist,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, no.
I know. We have audience members, and don't you have other guests out there that we can bring in?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
To
let's
bring
do
in
that,
some
of
other
course.
guests. Because here's the thing. I mean, it's
Yeah.
difficult to bend, but let's try something that'd be humanly impossible, or at least seemingly so. Okay. Here, one second here. Let me just do this real fast. Okay, watch. So you can see slowly the spoon actually continues to bend until what we have here is what we might call an impossible object. An object that once people hears the story behind it, they say that's impossible. But given the fact that you actually got to write your name on the spoon before it went
Yes.
through its transformation does sort of help to raise the question of just what is impossible anyway. So with that, I'm going to give this to you as a special souvenir.
Thank
and
you.
that way it'll bring you good luck. In
Perfect.
fact,
Thank you so much. Amazing.
it has your energy in it.
Absolutely, and some of yours as well.
Now, in fact, true. In fact, can I do one more? Is that okay?
Yes, that's
your
fine.
guests? Is that
I'm
okay?
going to actually ask you one more question so we can close out this interview so we can get them prepared if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Just because I don't want them to stand and all this stuff. But I do want to ask, because I always ask this to my audience before they always leave. To my guests, actually. Sorry. I'm so intrigued by the spoon. But the one more question I wanted to get to before you go was, is there a motto that you live by? I love asking my guests these questions. It kind of sums up them as a person and as an artist.
It's not whether you win or fail. It's that when you fail magnificently.
Wise words from the man who knows. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You have massive success. You have residencies, and would you like to tell them how they can get in contact with you and where they can get tickets to your residency that you have currently?
Yes. NotorietyLive.com. NotorietyLive.com is where you can get tickets to my show as well as all the other shows at that theater, at the Notoriety Theater. I'm there on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 5 p.m., so it's a nice afternoon show. It's a nice way to get out of the heat here in Las Vegas now that it's warming up. And and the show's been going great. Great TripAdvisor reviews, great reviews all around. I'm really looking forward to keeping this one going.
Yes, and then you also have, I don't know if they could still view it, but you had a limited series on TLC called The Mysterious World of Alain Nu, right?
I did.
So is it still available for them to view if they do want to kind of view past your past work, or are you more so?
I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to move into like, and that was like
it was
close
some time
to 20
ago.
years
Yes, it was some
exactly.
time ago.
So
yes.
my feeling is you know, I'm trying to reinvigorate a new career side to myself.
Right,
and,
but it's amazing.
And,
but I love for people to see your journey of success so they can respect you.
Yeah,
as
but
an
if you're
artist
interested,
and
you
as
can
a-
go to YouTube
Right.
and look up my name, Alain Nu, and TLC, and you'll probably see a few clips.
That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on the hot seat. Maria, would we like to cut to break, or would we like to jump right into it? Okay, so make sure you guys stay tuned, because he is going to demonstrate with my other two guests that I have coming onto today's hot seat episode. So make sure you don't go anywhere so you can see the man who knows right here in studio, live in action in real time. No gimmicks, no nothing, no editing. This is happening right before our very eyes. My first time actually meeting Alain, so like we have no prior connection. This is all
That's right.
right here in studio. So do not go anywhere, and I will see you right after the break.
This international television man of mystery has entertained audiences worldwide with his uncanny demonstrations. He utilizes his untold powers to foretell our actions, reveal unspoken thoughts, and create impossible phenomena, seemingly by the power of his mind. He is Alain Nu, the man who knows. Now appearing at Notoriety on the world-famous Fremont Street in downtown Las Vegas.
This show is brought to you by Dream Tracks Academy.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get about a dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a bowl and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Social Media Shows is a production company based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We offer these services. We've been streaming shows live in real time for over 4 years on major social media platforms and also on our website socialmediashows.com. And we are now on Roku TV. We welcome you to have your own show on our TV network. Call us 651-955-8743 or email us at admin@socialmediashows.com.
Okay, so we are back from the break. Now, Alain is going to demonstrate more with me and also my other two guests that you will see on the show in a little bit. So, Alain, take your stage, please.
All right, so we have Natsumi and we have Charlie here. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Thank you so much, Natsumi. I know that here in Las Vegas, you've seen a lot with regards to cards and the nature of cards and gambling and stuff. We're going to try to create a synchronicity over here using the cards. Now, I'll tell you a few things about cards that you might not know. A deck of cards is a lot like a calendar when you think about it. There's 4 suits to a deck of cards, like 4 seasons to a year. There's 52 cards in a deck, just like there's 52 weeks in a year. And if you were to take all the cards and add them, so if aces equal 1, plus 2, plus 3, going through the numbers, jacks equal 11, queens 12, kings 13, multiplied by the 4 suits, you end up with 364. Did you take that down? Okay, just one day shy of 365 days in a year. That's why there's 2 jokers. One to represent the 365th day, second one to represent the extra day in February when leap year comes around. So very interesting instrument, right? Now here's where it gets interesting, okay? I'm going to have you, Charlie, choose diamonds, clubs, hearts, or spades. What would you call out?
Let's go spades.
Spades. This is a symbol of hard work. This is a symbol of strength, right? Now, Natsumi, you get to choose one of the values for spades. So ace of spades, 2 of spades, any of the numbers, any of the letters. And I'm going to put the cards away right now before you say it out loud.
All right. 7 spades.
7 of spades. Now, there's no way that I could have influenced the 7 of spades. Now, but we're talking 7, right? This is a powerful number. Here's where you come in. Priscilla, have you ever had a psychic experience?
Yes.
Yeah, just a second ago, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Go ahead and call out a number. We'll say we won't go as high as 52 because we want this to be entertaining. But how about just a 2-digit number between 10 and 20? What 2-digit number would you call out?
12.
12. Now, there's no way that I could have influenced that. Or you don't want to change your mind, do you? Sticking with 12, okay? You've heard of women's intuition. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do this. We're doing this with the ladies. So she chose 12. You're going to choose a single-digit number between 1 and 10. What number would you choose?
8.
8. So 8 plus 12 is an even 20, right? Even 20. And it'd be so weird if we could actually go inside this pack exactly 8 plus 12 times. That's 20, right? 20 cards from the top of the deck and actually find the 7 of spades. That'd be weird, right?
Super.
20 cards. Here, deal them into my hand. Face up so we can see them. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Stop right there. That's 18, and then put 19 down. And the next card is 20. It'd be so weird if that next card was actually the 7 of spades, right? Mm-hmm. If it was, do you all agree to maybe come out to Las Vegas and see me at the Notoriety Live Theater at the corner of Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard next time you come to Las Vegas? How about you guys? Coming out to see my show?
Yeah.
If indeed that is it's only if the 20th card is at 7 of spades. I'm nervous. I already see a 7 of diamonds already, but still, no. If it could be any 7, it could be any 7. Or it could be any card. Turn it over. Let's see if indeed it is.
Oh!
Wow. I love doing business like that. See that? You and we have made an agreement. Wow. 7 of spades at 20. I'll tell you what, I'm going to even give these cards to you as a special souvenir so you can practice at home. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Residency down at the Notoriety on Fremont. So make sure to go rewind, find out all the information to go see him live. He's here for you. He's here to connect. Very genuine, very authentic. And please, please, please support him. We want to see all those comments and all those likes on this video here. Please follow him on social media and go see him whenever you're in Las Vegas. Locals, you have no excuse. So make sure to come out and see him. Alain Nu, everyone. One more round of applause. When we come back, we're going to see one of these 2 guests. Which one will it be? So make sure you do not go anywhere. See you soon.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
We've reached the age of live streaming on social media shows. You may ask, we're already ahead of the curve, so why do you need to advertise with us? Well, only 8% of the businesses in the US are using digital advertising to grow their business. That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations. So get your brand ready for digital monetization, for we are looking for sponsors, which will bring more traffic to your business and ultimately mean more sales. So let's bring the world to you. Inquire now.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I am your host Priscilla Moy, and wasn't Alain absolutely amazing? Make sure that you guys go and see him at the Notoriety here in Las Vegas while you have a chance. He's doing absolutely amazing, and clearly he did all of this before our very eyes, and I did not know this was happening. Just so you guys know, this was not planned. You guys know that we stream live in studio in real time. So there's absolutely no way that this could have been edited or messed with or pre-planned, none of that. So anyway, we are going to move on to our next guest. Now, she was a national team member in Japan for synchronized swimming, and she's been involved in a lot of the Cirque du Soleil shows here in Las Vegas. She's a synchronized swimmer, an acrobat, a contortionist. She's absolutely amazing. Everyone, please welcome Natsumi.
Thank you for having me.
You're so beautiful. Please take a seat. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. So you are from Japan?
Yes, I am from Japan, Tokyo. So I moved here 2016. When I came here, I couldn't speak any English, like zero.
Okay.
Like, I could say yes or no, but I couldn't understand anything. But yeah, so I learned by myself English. So my English is not perfect, so don't judge me.
It does sound great to me. You haven't been here long, and you know, have not shown any sign that you don't know what's going on, or that you can't speak, or that you're nervous. So I love that.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. So you've been an athlete your entire life.
Yes. So I started synchronized swimming when I was 12, which is like it's too late to start synchronized swimming. So, but I became national team member when I was 15, and then my last competition was World Cup, FINA World Cup, and Asian Olympics, and then I received the silver medals. But I thought like the world medals are like very like special, or like everybody is dreaming about that, but like for me, when I received the medal, it was not like that. Oh, just a medal.
Yeah.
And then plus I got a power harassment from head coach, so my mental was kind of broken. So that's why I quit. And then so after I quit, I got an offer from Reve, which is like that show closed already during pandemic, but it was at Wynn Hotel. I received the offer from Reve, and then so that's why it brought me here. I became a performer for that show.
Amazing. Well, Reve is an amazing show. I know some of the people that were in it, and it was really highly disappointing that it was not going to come back. But that was amazing, though, that you kind of made that move and you accomplished so much in Japan, but you kind of stopped for yourself and kind of like for your mental health and doing all those things. A lot of people wouldn't, right? Like they just want to keep going. Because I know that you kind of had a dream to go to the Olympics after all of those things. Now, what introduced you to synchronized swimming? Why synchronized swimming?
So, since I was born, my hip bone was not perfect. So, like only 50% covered. So, anytime like I cannot walk, like forever. So, that's why my parents always take me to the pool to build up muscle around here. So, that's why I always like water, like being in the pool. And then, so I think I was good at swimming. but I get kind of bored after that. So and then found like a synchronized swimming, like Olympic, on TV, and then like I asked my mom, and then hey, I want to learn synchronized swimming, and then I started synchronized swimming.
So you must be, because I understand the hip thing, because I kind of have that thing too. You don't, it doesn't cover all the way, and I was a gymnast for a while, so the impact really can be really hard for you. But with swimming, I can see you can use flexibility and kind of all the dance aspect. So did the flexibility and doing all this contortion stuff that you also do also come naturally to you?
So probably like my hip is a little flexible than other people, a little bit, but nothing like special, nothing like contortionist. But yes, so when COVID hit, Las Vegas was kind of ghost town, like everything shut down. It was so quiet. And then that time I think about like, okay, maybe I need to change my career, not synchronized swimming, like to be like other things. And then I started trying myself like a contortion on the area. So that's why I'm a little better, flexible than before.
Yeah, but that's amazing. You could do it by yourself. So you just have a natural talent to do all these things, and that's great. It helps that you were part of Cirque, too. You're around people that you see it all the time, and you're probably just like, oh my gosh, like I want to do that. That's amazing.
Impressed.
So after Le Reve, I know that you got an offer from O, that's at the Bellagio. Did you perform in that show as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I was performing for O as synchronized swimmer, too. But I was, so I performed for all, but now I'm not performing anymore for that. So I created 2 shows in Las Vegas during pandemic. It's called Apero Show. That show closed already. And then like other show, it's called Particle Ink Speed of Dark. Last year we had the venue at what's called Art District downtown area. It was like immersive like show, and I was doing pole dance on bed. So I was jumping and spinning on bed. It was so fun. But yeah, that show was closed because like they want to try to move on the strip. It's not happened yet, but yeah.
So do you have other shows in mind that you're doing, or are you planning to move those, just finding different residencies and locations?
I'm not sure what they thinking, but I really hoping that show comes back because everybody loved it. So, but I'm doing like a live entertainment here in Las Vegas and in California too. Also like music videos, like Lizzo's About Damn Time. That music video I was performing for them.
Really? Yes. And About Damn Time. You can see that's a look for you. Oh my gosh, you're like a star. But that's great though that you found a way to, after performing live with a company like Cirque. I know a lot of times performers find it hard to figure out, okay, what now? What next? Because also, the body ages and they want to make sure they make the most of it before they actually can't do it anymore, right?
Exactly.
But you kind of found a way to make it your own and make it your own path. Kind of just like how you controlled your synchronized swimming career. You just kind of decided, no, I'm going to do what's good for me, which I love. It's so amazing. So what was your inspiration for your latest show?
So, so because my husband is a musician, so he always like practicing and then put his effort on it like 100%. So I always watch next to him, and then that's why I always okay, I need to push more by myself, and then we are kind of pushing each other. I think that's.
Is he Asian as well? Is he Japanese?
No, he's from Kansas. He's American.
Okay. So what was it like for you as a Japanese artist in America? Do you feel like you were able to thrive more, or do you feel like there was an uphill battle for you?
So it's a little hard, I think, because in Las Vegas we have very small Japanese community, which I don't know very well. But California or New York, there's so many Japanese are there, but for business. And so because Japanese kind of a little old school, I feel. So always traditional, and then they are not open mind sometimes. So that's why I created some act with my pole stage, and then with my mom's kimono my mom bought that kimono like long time ago, and it's like about like $5,000. So that's why I created like modern Japanese pole dancing, and so I really want to produce like so this is Japanese but more modern style. So
so you're kind of bringing your traditions in, but introducing it in a way that Americans might understand it. Amazing.
Hopefully.
Exactly. So do you think if you were to bring your shows over to Japan, would they be welcoming to
I
those
think
things?
so,
You think
yeah. Yeah, Japanese like you know, everybody like, you know, from America or from other country. So they're I'm really sure like they enjoy, and then they're very welcome.
So what do you have planned now? Like, you know, you obviously are working on getting your show moved, you're doing music videos. Is there anything you're working on currently that you can talk about?
So I'm not like a very professional as a contortionist and the aerialist. So I'm not very young, but like I really wanna build up like my career with contortion and then like aerialist. So I'm really hoping like I can get like a job with that, not like synchronized swimming. So
yeah, because I know there's a lot. Would you ever go back to Cirque? Because I know they have a lot of contortion. It's finding the one that works for you though. So if you guys have any shows that Natsumi could be a part of, like I'm sure she's open to it. You know, she's fit, she's amazing, she's strong, and it's so great because every time I look you up online, you would have articles on the interviews that you've done, and there's these beautiful pictures of you like in motion doing so many things. Like, you know, you look like you're modeling, and then she's actually in action holding these amazing poses. Now, what do you do daily apart from obviously practicing your craft that you do to keep fit and keep those muscles really strong to do that?
Yeah, so I think like for synchronized swimmer or like all artists in the world, like everybody is like dreaming to be a Cirque du Soleil or like performer in Las Vegas. So you know, I really wanna be like the role model for them, like even only outside, you know. So that's why like I keep like training, like try to be better, you know, than yesterday. So every day like I kind of want to grow up.
Yeah, amazing, because you're super strong. So how did you get the attention of Cirque in Japan?
Oh, in Japan, so Reve was not Cirque du Soleil. But like when I came here for my summer vacation when I was a university student, so they said like we have like one position of swimmer, and then like do you want to audition? And then I auditioned their theater. Right after the audition, the CEO gave me the contract right there. So that's why I supposed to go to some Japanese company, but like I quick changed my mind, and then like yes, I go.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, because I hear a lot of those performers like they were approached by the company to come perform in Las Vegas. You know, people from China, all over the world. So I always wondered how they happened to find you guys. Like that's you guys probably just like are either very well known in your country or in your sport, and just absolutely amazing. So I'm always so impressed. And then you meet these people, and they're so humble. They're amazingly genuine, and their personality is great. But when you see them on stage perform, like in their character and doing these amazing things, it's like mind-blowing. So what moments as a performer in Las Vegas really stuck out to you? Is there any point where you're like, oh my god, like this is where I'm meant to be?
Yeah, so I think like so it was not my dream to be a performer actually. So that's why it's like kind of good accident. So I was so lucky to be here, and I was so lucky to perform for Reve and Cirque du Soleil. But because all my friends, they're like performers or like entertainers. So that's why I always like see what they do, and then so that's why I always think like, oh, I want to be like them, you know, like so that's why like my environment. It's like that.
Yeah, so you're just inspired by the people around you.
Like every day.
Las Vegas brings a lot of people, and it's just a moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm what, like, they might be looking at me like that when I'm looking at them, like, amazed, you know? So, one final question. Is there a philosophy that you live by?
Philosophy? Yes. Sorry, can you explain for me?
Or like a motto, something that you, every day, like that's how you live your life. Kind of like either a saying, a term, an idea.
Yes. So so now because of my age, so I can't try something, like other like career or like performance. So I really wanna do until, like my body said no.
Yeah.
So I don't know when, but like now I'm teaching like pole dance area to kids and adults.
Yeah.
So for the future, maybe I need to switch my career to teaching. But right now, I want to focus on my performance.
So you live in the moment.
Yes.
That's you.
Yeah.
She lives in the moment. She's doing what she can and, and her way, which I love. And you just finding new things every day that you're inspired by. So you do teach and you have it's called artistic swimming. You have a page on Instagram where you do teach and you have volunteers come, right?
Yeah, so I teach synchronized swimming too, but like, this is like, so I have like Instagram for synchronized swimmers, but like that is for everyone or for like coaches and the parents. So, maybe it helps and then like so many questions I get from the world, and then so I wanna just support them or like help them. So but like I'm teaching Las Vegas in Las Vegas, that is like flexibility area or pole dance, like a little acrobat like for kids and adults. So that is just for fun, like not like very serious. So but for synchronized swimming, I just want to support everyone. So
you like to give back and just be there for them.
Yes.
They're probably a big fan of yours. So where do you teach, in case the viewers might want to
Yes, so
learn?
I'm teaching at Pole Fitness Studio. This is like I think like Flamingo and Avril. It's like a very old pole fitness studio, but like we have like aerial leader, aerial pole, of course pole dance, and then ballet dance, and then like just dance, and then like floor walk, which is like not climbing on the pole, just like floor dancing, like something like that, and the flexibility. So I'm teaching every Saturday, aerial and then flexibility, and then Tuesday I teach pole dance. Sometimes I'm subbing like other people too. So
wow, I mean, so she does it all, basically. Whatever you find your niche, what you're comfortable with, you can just kind of go there and just see what you're kind of comfortable with. And she's obviously very open to whatever level that you're at. If you're flexible, if you're not flexible, if you've never done it before, I'm pretty sure Natsumi would be very open to have you come and she'd make you feel very welcome. So that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming. It's been an amazing interview.
You so much.
You're so beautiful. She's so open. She will have a video that's going to play after this interview, kind of her and her amazingness, obviously.
Japanese modern pole dance.
Oh, there it is! Japanese modern pole dance. Amazing. I've never heard of that, so I can't wait for you guys to see it. Like, she's creating things by herself, and she's doing things on her terms and in her own way. So she's definitely revolutionary, and she's renovating a lot of different ideas of what we might think of from acrobats, contortionists, and all of that. So make sure to support her. And what is your social media so that way they can find you?
So I have my Instagram. This is Natsumi Miyazaki 0714. So Miyazaki is my Japanese last name.
Amazing. So everyone go support her. Natsumi, everyone. Please continue to watch this part of the interview so you can see her amazing Japanese modern pole dancing. Stay tuned after the break because we've got one more guest. And yeah, amazing interview. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
This show is brought to you by Deborah Richards. Move Me No Mountains. Now available at Amazon Prime.
I can already feel you judging me, and not for what I've done in the past, but for what I'm about to do. I had what mattered, and I got careless. Like, I don't deserve more. I don't deserve sympathy. I don't deserve to be here.
Where the hell are you? Why aren't you answering your phone?
Jenna! What is the matter with you?
Someone once told me, you may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you're somebody's shot of whiskey.
Excuse me, ma'am. My car ran out of gas and I left my wallet at home. Could you please spare a couple dollars so I can refuel my vehicle?
I literally have nothing.
What's it gonna take to get you to join the program?
Get back, dog! If Jesus wanted you to have a dog, he would have blessed you with a bowl and a leash now, wouldn't he?
Hi guys, and welcome back to the hot seat. I am your host, Priscilla Moy. I literally was watching with you guys that amazing video that Natsumi sent us of her Japanese modern pole. I'm just like mind blown. Today, this is like the theme of today's show. You know, I always say this, like there's a theme and these people are just coming here surprising me. I can only research so much, but when they come here and I feel their energy and I see their talent, it's just inspiring to me to meet all of these guests. So we amazingly and thankfully have one more guest that we're going to get to, so we're switching gears again to another side of Las Vegas, which is fantastic, and I'm so glad I'm going to have this on because I've always wanted someone like him on this show, and I'm so glad that he said yes. So he is a comedian, he is a producer, and you may or may not have seen him on Amazon's show Laugh After Dark, in which he hosts. So everyone, please welcome Charlie Wilson. What's up? Hey! Thank you so much, of course. Taking your seat in the hot seat. How you feeling? You feeling good? Oh, well.
She wasn't lying.
Yeah, I was not lying. It's great because you just got to see two amazing guests.
Yes, a tough act to follow. I can't bet.
Now you're like, dang it, I should have just gone through this.
No. Give me a plastic straw. Give me a plastic straw.
Amazing. So you're doing so much, right? You're a comedian, you're a producer, you're a TV host, and you're around the scene here, there, everywhere around the country. Yeah. So was comedy always your life? Like, was that something that you had?
I was a theater kid, kind of growing up. I was very involved in my church. I was public speaking. I was in student council. I was a little bit of a nerd. And then after I got into theater, I started to develop my sense of humor. And I did some theater productions in Dallas, Texas. I'm originally from the South, from Louisiana. Shout out to Louisiana. And so from Dallas, one of the producers I was working with on that show said, hey, you should try stand-up comedy. So I ended up moving to New York. And I just took a chance and jumped into an open mic, and that's where I kind of discovered comedy, and I fell in love. It was love at first sight, and I didn't let off since. So it's been about, 11 years now, 12 years? Yeah. I've been doing stand-up. It's been fun.
Who kind of inspired you to grab that open mic and just be like, I could do it too?
I wouldn't say that there's one specifically. I've always been a fan of it, but for whatever reason, when you come from a small town, you don't necessarily think this is something I can do for a living. Yeah. This is something I can make my lifestyle. So I've always kind of felt that I was funny, but I never could put two and two together. I was like, I still got to go get a job and a career, and these bills is not letting up. But I was inspired by, watching Marlon Wayans, Will Smith. I'm a big, Martin Lawrence fan, all these sitcoms that we grew up watching and invited them into our homes. But when I got to New York and started doing stand-up, stand-up, I was like, you know what? It's getting out of that small town mentality where you open up and you see people that are not maybe on Kevin Hart's level, but there's still a lot of people doing comedy, and some of them able to still make really good livings. So it's kind of opened up my mind quite a bit.
And you feel very comfortable. I feel like you really just feel like that was kind of that moment. You're like, yes, I can do it. Because you don't feel, I don't get a sense that you're like, oh no, I'm insecure. I don't think I'm funny. Yeah. So obviously, do you write your own material?
I do. And it's funny you say that. Comedians, we're our biggest critics, and I'm comfortable speaking and talking in front of people, but we still are our own biggest critics because it's a very competitive industry. There are a lot of layers to it. So you got Kevin Hart, and you got somebody that's doing open mics that no one knows. Yeah. And there's a lot of in between. I'm still very much in between. I don't get stopped at Starbucks like, hey, that's Charlie Wilson. No, I still know who I am yet. So there's still so much work to be done.
But that's amazing. So what kind of topics do you really talk about in your comedy?
I think just life experiences, I think that's what my material is usually brought from. I talk a lot about my new experience to Vegas. I've only been here for 2 years now. My upbringing, relationships, very much relationships. That's something that everybody can kind of agree with.
They relate to. They get it. They're like, we're here.
A lot of relationship stuff, for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I know that comedians always have this area of, should I push the limits or should I not? How do you feel about that? Are you someone that will just push controversy, or do you normally stay in the safe zone?
I don't think the safe zone is a good spot to be a comedian. Maybe if you're a corporate comic, you got to play the safe zone because that's your, that's kind of the lane that you chose to be in. But I feel like I'm a fit for what you're looking for, or I'm not a fit. Right. And I think in anything that you do, you find your crowd, you cultivate your audience, and so just do, and opportunities will find you. So I just kind of live by that, and hopefully it's going in the right direction. I trust that it's going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. So you obviously are surrounded by a lot of comedy because you amazingly host Laugh After Dark, which is a huge thing. Like, I'm a big stand-up comic fan, so I'm just like, oh my god, so what was that like? What was the process for that? Did they hit you up and you just were like, oh my god, my hard work's paying off? Like, or is that something you were like, I want to do it, I'm going to manifest it?
So it was crazy. So doing stand-up in New York, after about 6 months of doing stand-up, I started producing my own shows. I was like, I'm not going to wait for someone to say, hey, let's book you on a show. I said, you know what, I'm going to go to this restaurant, this bar, this club, and I'm going to produce shows. So I just stayed on that journey for about 5 or 6 years in New York. I got an opportunity to work with the Wendy Williams show while I was there. So that was my first on-camera experience. I mean, seen on TV. I did some writing work for them briefly, but, still selling cars, still having my day job. And that led to me moving to LA. My mom was originally from the West Coast. So I just, continued to stay on the grind in LA, producing my own shows and doing performances wherever I could get booked. But I was told to submit for Laugh After Dark. They were a new TV show. So they had season 1 already on Amazon Prime, and I went to audition for season 2. So I was fortunate enough to get that opportunity to get a spot on season 2 amongst many other comedians. Shout out to my, season 2 alum. But after getting that spot on season 2, it was about a 10-minute set. This was the end of 2019. The producers reached out to me, Rob and Kels, shout out to them, and they said that we wanted to do season 3, and they wanted me to be the host of that show. Wow. So I was like, oh man, it's about to be crazy. My life is about to change. I called my job. I was like, I quit. I'm just kidding. Just give me a little time, but I think I'm gonna quit. Wait a minute. So it was exciting, but remember, this is end of 2019.
Right.
So we know what happened after that. So now we have season 3 castings. We're trying to find new comics to have on this show. I'm going to host it. We got auditions. Now we've got a sold out show in LA. Wow. And we're ready to film this new season in March of 2020. So right when that happens, COVID happens. Yeah. And unfortunately, we decided, instead of just doing the show and taking a risk of putting people at risk, we decided to just hold off and wait. Yeah. We didn't want to film the show with masks. We didn't know how serious it was. So anyway, month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed. It's still not safe. It's still 2020. We never got a chance to. I came to Vegas just on a fluke just to do a comedy show. And I ended up having a good impression at that venue. That led to a meeting, and we ended up pivoting and just coming to Vegas. So we came to Vegas and filmed a brand new season, Laugh After Dark, live in Las Vegas. So that's the show that's now on Amazon Prime. And I've been in Vegas for now 2 years, and starting to feel a lot more like home, except for this heat.
Yeah,
except for the heat here.
He hasn't grown accustomed yet. It's the
so
heat.
Hot here.
That's amazing because I feel like what's as bad as the pandemic was, I see a lot of changes, and I always wonder, like, what would have happened if that didn't happen?
Right.
I feel like Las Vegas wouldn't have grown as much as it has. It wouldn't have brought as much over here and introduced an amazing new city that's open to people doing many different things, and it opened a new venue for stand-up comedians to come and do shows for people that travel here.
For sure.
So I feel it's amazing. So you are a host of season 3. What have you learned being a host of a stand-up versus you being the comic that's, like, oh, my time's coming. Oh my God, what's the lineup?
Right. I enjoy hosting. Some people in the comedy industry give host a little bit of slack because you're just the host of the show. But I feel like there's so much responsibility with controlling the energy of the room. So I've always been infatuated with that because you set the tone for the show. You set the tone to the people that came to have a good time at the show. You ever go to a comedy show and the comedians just aren't good or they're not what you expected?
Right.
Well, it's the host job to still ensure you had a great time and to still ensure that last comedian that wasn't so great, you're still having a great time and set the stage for the next comic coming. So that's a big responsibility. I enjoy it. I'm fortunate for the doors that Laugh After Dark has opened, and we're continuing to do more things. We had our first tour last year. So we filmed some comedy specials for specific comedians. We went to San Diego, Arizona, New Orleans, and filmed comedy shows for comics. And we also started a comedy festival here in Las Vegas. So right in the Arts District. Our first year was last year. We partnered up with some restaurants and some venues and sponsors, and we brought out comedians from all over and really introduced them and what I feel like broke open, the comedy scene even more. It's already been growing. So it's been great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've obviously done shows in different areas. What city has stood out for you that has given you a lot of good feedback while you're live doing a show? Because obviously you base your energy when you're stand-up there on the energy you get from the audience. It's kind of like a give and take.
Sure.
So who has really stood out to you?
In terms of performing, city performances?
For whatever show, like if you've ever done a show and you get there and like that was the one, oh man, this energy was crazy, or oh no, I feel like that was my show.
I have fun just about everywhere I go. I think every city brings a little something different. You learn a little something different. The audience is a little different. And that's one of the good things I was just telling. I was having a conversation randomly with some guy on the plane. But I guess the great thing about Vegas, if you perform in LA, you've got an LA crowd.
Yeah.
If you perform in New York, it's diverse, but it's still New Yorkers primarily. Vegas is a big melting pot. So you're talking to people from the Midwest, from down south. You got people from all over the world, Europeans that are here visiting Vegas. So it's really a chance to see how well your material transcends with the world.
Yeah.
So I think Vegas is probably one of my favorite places to do comedy just because, it's a mixed crowd and it challenges you in a lot of different ways.
Exactly. So do you sometimes feel like when you go to a different city and you keep kind of the same show, the same material, you hope that it translates to them?
For sure.
There's different part of countries where that might not be relatable or that might hit a few buttons.
Certainly. So one place that stands out specifically is Utah. Utah is very close to here, but Utah is very different in the sense that, no shade, Utah, but not that diverse.
Yeah.
Utah is very vanilla. You know what I mean? So it's a different crowd there, and they have religious beliefs. There's a lot of Mormons there, so you have to be a little bit more sensitive about how different people feel about different things. So sometimes you have to kind of water down your material a little bit with respect to where you're performing.
Right. You don't want to get banned in a city.
Yeah, you're like, no. I need that chick.
You're like, oh, dang it, I ruined it. I opened my mouth in the wrong city, like at the wrong time.
Right.
But amazing. So do you have anything planned for yourself and Las Vegas? What are your next goals that you're trying to achieve?
100%. So Laugh After Dark, like I said, we've been filming comedy specials highlighting these comedians that we believe in. So my comedy special is still set to be shot. I'm still trying to figure out where exactly in Vegas and how I want to shoot that, and really let
you're
my
going to shoot it here though, right?
I plan to shoot it in Vegas. Okay. I consider going to LA, but I feel like Vegas has just been such a cool transition. I'm building a fan base here, and I just love what it's bringing. So yeah, I'm still excited to shoot my comedy special. We have a comedy festival that's coming back this fall. It's the first week of October, so stay tuned for Laugh After Dark Comedy Fest. Again, you'll see comedians from all over. You'll get introduced to Vegas food, Vegas nightlife. We got sponsorship, so if you like to have a good time, do a little bit of that. We got all those sponsors and stuff too, so it's gonna be a blast. So stay tuned for Laugh After Dark Comedy Fest. In addition to our Sunday residency. We have a Sunday stand-up comedy club. So every Sunday, Laugh After Dark is there. What's unique about our show is we work with a live band. So we've got the Fremont Funk Band that comes and brings live music and soul to that show. But I also host a show in Henderson for the locals that don't like going to the Strip. I'm thinking about you too. So the second Wednesday of every month, I host a show called Hump Day Humor that goes down at Gambit in Henderson, which is like a Gatsby, cocktail vibes, great food and drinks, free parking, which is super easy to get to. So stay tuned for that one. That next one is on May the 10th.
I've been hearing a lot about this Gambit place. A lot of my guests have performances there, and I'm like, because I live all the way north, so by Leandre, so going to Henderson, I'm like, there's a lot going on down there at this Gambit. I better have to like stop by in my little 1920s style dress and whatever fit the vibe.
It's fun.
But I'm so excited for the special though. I can't wait to see it. Are you hoping to get it streamed? And things like that.
Correct. Yeah. So our show now is on Tubi. So if you have Tubi or Amazon Prime, you can catch Laugh After Dark season 1, 2, and Laugh After Dark live in Las Vegas. My comedy special. I'm hoping to get on those platforms as well as some additional.
Yeah, I'm about
We're
to say you need that Netflix.
I need that Netflix.
That's where everyone watches comedy.
Right.
The legends around there. You got Cat Williams. You got Dave Chappelle. You got all of them on there.
Sure.
It's absolutely amazing.
Those levels I was telling you about.
Yeah.
There's layers to it.
Hey, you know, they all been there though.
Exactly.
Your comedy will just grow as time goes on. You can joke about this interview later on.
We'll look back on this day.
We'll look back and I'll bring you on and be like, guess who got his Netflix? We need Alain here to manifest it for you. If you ask him that question, am I going to be on Netflix?
Get over here with that spoon, bro. I need you over here to manifest.
But all my guests obviously have a sense of humor because they watch me blabbing on all day. So obviously you have to go watch him. He's doing so much. He's booked and busy. Hopefully you actually call your boss and say, you were right. Like, babe, see ya, not coming back. So I'm super excited for you. And I got to get a call when you're filming your special because I'm going to like root for you.
Oh, yeah. You got invites. You got invites right
like, you got
the water down.
I'll be the one holding the side laugh.
Right.
But amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Tell them where they could find you, your socials, all the ticket information.
100%. So online, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's Charlie Wilson TV. Again, Charlie Wilson TV as in television. For more information, charliewilsontv.com. My website, which is still a little under construction. I'm going through so many changes. So is my website. For more details about live shows here in Vegas, go to laughafterdark.com. I also host a podcast called Do Tell with Laugh After Dark, sitting down with some of your favorite comics. And then that local show, again, that one's coming up May the 10th, is aegrouplv.com. That one's going to be the next show. It's going to be May the 10th. Got some great comics on that show. So, stay tuned. I look forward to seeing you guys at the shows here in Vegas.
Amazing. And one more question, because I always ask this for all of my guests.
For sure.
Is there a philosophy that you live by?
100%. 3 words. Embrace your process.
Ooh.
You got to embrace your process. I feel
love
like it's so easy to get caught up in what you see everybody else doing, especially in the world of social media. I don't have this. I don't have that. Stop comparing. Stop even looking around you. Focus on what you have right in front of you. I believe that you already have all the tools, all the skills, all the resources that you need. So just embrace your process and trust your process and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, stay in your lane. You know, because you got to focus on what makes you happy, what your journey is. Because what someone's journey might be that you wish you had might not even make you feel happy. It might not even be your style. It might not even be your thing, what your vision for yourself and your career is. So I love that, and I love asking that question because whatever people say literally sums up their whole personality and their purpose as to why they do what they do. So I congratulate you on all of your success. You're doing absolutely amazing. This is just the beginning. Even though Vegas, I think, has opened up so much for so many people, including myself. So I relate with you on that it's just amazing. And you want to make sure that a lot of the things that are happening, you want it to be here because this will always have a meaning for you. Las Vegas, whether you stay here or you move, will have a part of you inside where you're just like, that was the place to kind of really open those doors for me.
100%.
So welcome to the hot seat. Welcome to social media shows. We'd love to have you back. Love to have some of your comics here. It would be absolutely amazing. So please keep in touch. Everyone, literally reach out to him, check up on what he's doing, support him, be there for him, tell people about him. He's absolutely amazing, great energy, great personality, great charisma. So everyone, Charlie Wilson, TV as in television, everyone. TV as in television. So make sure to stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching this interview and this episode, but we always have our goodbyes at the end, so don't go anywhere. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Hot Seat. I am your amazing and most favorite host ever, Priscilla Moy, and we are here live in studio here at Social Media Shows. You guys obviously just watched this episode. I am pooped. Like, so much has happened that was unexpected. Discretion is that I don't actually know a lot of these people prior to the show. So even more so telling you guys that this is not planned. The interview is not really planned. I do research on these guests, but a lot of them I have not met. I don't know their energy. I don't know their vibe. I don't even know if they're willing to be here. So everything to me is also as much a surprise as it is to you. But I love that people are willing to be on this show. The Hot Seat is moving up. I told you, remember when we switched from Undiscovered to the Hot Seat, and I said, we're going to raise the stakes. And whoever gets to sit on this little hot flaming seat right here, charbroiled and all that, has to be here. And I literally am so happy that it's actually manifesting right before our eyes. You guys are seeing, because these people are doing things. They're out here, they're working, they've worked, they've built up this whole legacy for them to be here in Las Vegas the same time that we are. So we can meet and we can just connect. It's all about that here in Las Vegas. Networking, connecting, knowing people, meeting people, and being open to everyone and their energy. So it's absolutely amazing. My guests inspire me every single week, and I never really know how the episode's gonna go. I can always, in my mind, hope that, like, I don't sit there and be like, I don't know what to say. Like, with Alain, like, I was just so blown away. I don't know. I'm still, like, have to process. I need to watch this back and be like, oh God, I'm so embarrassing. Like, my face probably was like, but anyways, hopefully not. So switching back, that announcement I made in the beginning, you can now stream and watch our episodes every single day before we go live the next week. So you can see all of our other episodes of The Hot Seat. So if you want to just watch me on repeat every single day because you love me, love me, you can watch it every day. For the next episode is just like, you're dying over there. I just feel it through the camera. You're just sitting there being like, oh, I want a new one. What is she going to wear next week? Who's going to be on? I know. You don't have to lie to me. You don't have to try to hide it. I know that you guys just love hearing my voice going like this. So because of that, you can just watch me every single day. It's just going to be streaming. It's just going to be there. And if you really aren't sick of me, you guys do know I host another show called it's called Strip Tea. So you can hear me even more unhinged, sitting there with a little brewski in my hand, blabbing on and on and on. So, because you guys love me so much, please go and support that. Please so support everything that the amazing producer Maria is just doing to push this show. Sorry, we were distracted. It's fine. But anyway, yes, so seriousness, thank you guys so much, though, for supporting and doing all that you guys are already doing for us and actually viewing and caring about the show, and actually to all of the guests that are willing to actually come on. So I applaud you. I thank you. We see you guys. We notice your support. Thank you to all the sponsors, to all the people that are actually helping us and believing in us. And we always are open to more sponsorships, and we are open to red carpet gigs, doing all of that, because I know you guys love to see me on the red carpet with that mic, though. So if you guys have anything going on, movie premieres, openings of shows, whatever, I don't know. You guys all do these amazing things that I've never heard of. So amazing, just invite us. Okay. But anyways, I am your host, Priscilla Moy. Stay tuned for next week's episode by watching more of my episodes every day. Until then, I will see you next week, 3 p.m. here at Social Media Shows. See you then.